Folks, please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, good evening. You are in the presence of the October 14th Town of Canandaigua Planning Board meeting. Thanks for coming out. I think everybody knows everybody. Sir, you're new. Do you want me to introduce the board or can you go by the nameplates?
I am Arif Mariwala.
Yes. And do you want me to introduce the dais, the folks here? Do you want me to do that?
It's okay.
Okay.
I've been to the other meetings here.
Okay, good.
I met Kristen and your Mr. Murphy's group, you know.
Okay, and you have an item on the agenda we'll get to later.
3498.
Okay, thank you. Since that's the case, let's move on with the agenda. Again, most of you who've been before this board before, you know the protocol as far as how to present and defend, so to speak, and we'll follow the same procedure as always. First will be the privilege of the floor. Is anyone here or out in Zoom land have anything to present to the planning board that is not on the agenda this evening? Now would be the time to do so. If not, we'll move on with the agenda. We do have a couple public hearings and they were advertised. And I think it was, do you have the date, Kim, off the top? I didn't write the date down. It was advertised in the Messenger. Anyway, it was advertised in the Messenger. Take my word for it. Okay, we met the standards of advertising, so we can proceed with the hearings this evening. And that being said, let's move right to the hearings. First hearing is CPN 2025-084, Henry and Sheila Rohr, for a short-term rental SUP, a special use permit at a property at 3475 Lakeview Lane. I will open the hearing. I know the Rohrs. Mr. Rohr, I see, is joining us from beautiful downtown Ardmore, Pennsylvania. All right, welcome, Mr. Rohr. You want to tell us a little bit about what you want to do out there in terms of your short-term rental?
Mr. Rory, you'll need to unmute yourself.
How's that?
Great.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for allowing me to do this via Zoom. So my wife and I have rented our place for several years. And over the years, we've become very engaged with our neighbors and making sure that the times that we do rent it, it's to people but primarily that we know and know quite well, or repeat renters. And we're very concerned that our neighbors have a good experience when we do these rentals. When it became apparent that a new rule would be coming out where permits were needed, we were pleased to do it. I like the concept behind it. I think governance is really good in this case. We've gone through the process, and I believe we've completed everything necessary. And I just want to make sure that the people in the meeting know that my wife and I are, again, we're very concerned that our neighbors are not put in kind of any kind of a bad situation, that when we do rent, they're good folks. We haven't had any issues. We've complied with all of the permit requirements. And I'm here just to see what needs to be done to answer any questions you may have and hopefully get it approved.
Good, thank you. Board, any questions of Mr. Rohr?
The only question that I had mostly related to whether or not parking was sufficient for the requested size. I didn't see the sketch plan, and I noticed in their statement of operations, it states that nothing will be used on the grassy area.
Mm-hmm.
So as such, I don't know that there's enough square footage in the driveway space. We happen to check that.
There is sufficient parking.
There is. okay.
They have a 2-car garage and then they have room for at least 4 cars in
This
the
thing-
driveway.
Sorry,
And that should have been included in the building inspection, but there is adequate.
well, you taught me something new again tonight. I didn't realize that it could also be interior parking.
That's two of us.
Cause I counted the 4, so wasn't thinking until the garage.
Mr. Rohr, would your guests be able to use the garage itself, if we consider it as part of the parking?
Yeah, the garage is a two-car garage, and there's ample space for those 2 cars. We don't have anything in there that would preclude those spaces being used.
Okay, thank you. Am I correct that you have limited the number of occupants to 12? And I think that was very clear from your statement of operations, your guest rules. I think we're talking no more than 12, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And you do approximately 4 rentals a year?
4 to 5. 5 would be a little unusual, but 4 would be on average. Every once in a while, we do get a request for a timing outside of the summer. It's very unusual, but occasionally we do get 5.
And to meet our requirements, safety inspection was done of the property back on September 3rd. And it was found by our code department that everything was in good order as far as meeting the fire and safety requirements of the short-term rentals. I think we all saw that. Parking spaces we talked about. Okay, I don't have anything else. Anybody else have anything?
Just on your statement of operations, if you ever change, just make sure you update that to the amount of people that you're authorized now at the 15. So you're only gonna do 12, but we're looking at you for 15. So if you ever change, make sure you change your statement of operations.
Okay, thank you.
So what are we approving, 12 or up to 15?
Up to 15.
15 would require.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? No,
I guess capacity for it, but we won't do that. That's just not what we're interested in doing. But I understand what you're saying. We have the capacity for 15, but we do limit it to 12.
What we ultimately approve was in the statement of operations for
Yes.
tonight.
Right.
That makes- I understand.
They would just have to come back before us to change.
Right.
Yeah.
You understand that? If in the future you ever did change it, you'd have to come back to us and just change your statement of operations.
Understood.
Okay, does the board see any reason to go through the SUP standards in terms of, making sure there's no issues with the neighbors, heat, light, all those issues that we talk about with this? Okay, I don't think
I
so
don't
either,
think so.
but
There's no neighbor letters or anything in here.
there was no correspondence with any of the neighbors. That's good. Yeah. Very good. And everything was in good order as far as zoning and code. So with that being said, let's move on to the seeker, which is a type 2. Since we're doing a special use permit, let's do the seeker separate. I'll make a motion that we approve the seeker resolution for a type 2 action, that means that no further review is required under the seeker regulations as part of that type 2 action for 3475 Lakeview Lane in the RLD zoning for Mr. and Mrs. Rohr and eventually the ultimate issuance of a special use permit. I make that motion.
Second. Mark got it.
Okay, got a motion and a second on the seeker type 2. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that carries. Let's move on to the special use permit. And the only thing I want to ask Chris, I think we're making these special use permits in regard to short-term rentals, but we're involved. Remain effective and for current and future owners.
Yeah, that's the law.
Well, I know, in fact, we'll do 2 other ones next month, that were ones that were just for a year. We made it for a year.
Yep.
Okay, So if we are so inclined, it'll be perpetual.
No, I would recommend that, at least to start out, they be limited in duration. You know, if in the course of that year, somebody else purchases and starts operating, they're subject to the rules of the special use permit, the conditions,
Right.
and have to operate it in the same manner, but they can, it can't be specific to the person, but it can be limited in time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense, but do we want to limit it? I think a lot of these, rather than coming back every year, every 3 years, I know we got away from it with
Yeah.
other special use permits and made it forever permits, or it's forever SUPs. How's the board feel?
I think as they pass that first year, that we're giving them the test though, to make sure that I would say.
I agree with Bob.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think that we can progressively work towards
final,
a longer duration.
Okay.
And then, I mean, it's complaint based in terms of on these special use permits, if the zoning office is getting a lot of complaints, then you can refer it back. Whether there's, I mean, even if it's a perpetual special use permit, if there's a lot of complaints, the zoning officer can say, you're up for review by the planning board.
And if I could just ask procedurally, I know we're here discussing only 12 occupants, but does this fit under the code requirements for our approval? So what I'm reading, it's greater than 12 that needs our approval, and I know that there is maybe some back and forth beforehand, but
Well, the house has a capacity
okay,
to have
15.
over 12.
Got it.
people. So in that
That's
case.
thank you. Thank you. Okay,
But we're not, because of the statement of operations,
We're
we're not
only approving
approving, we're only approving both.
But it has the.
Correct, the code was written very carefully. To that end. That all the town board members and the ordinance committee members thought it was important that anybody who could have more than 12 or more than 12, excuse me. Should need to obtain a special use permit, just to have that added level of regulatory review. Even if they're not going to let more than 12 people stay there, they could. And so that gives you the opportunity to look at it, make sure it's not all bunk beds and.
I see, so that you
Dorm
can,
rooms.
so that. Just, sorry if I'm thinking through the
Nope, I think
process
it's
of
good.
they
It's
could.
good.
So they only could if we authorize it. But if they wanted 12 or less at any time, we can't prevent it.
We're incorrect. If they have the capacity to have 15, they have 15 10 by 10 bedrooms.
Then they need a permit no matter what.
Yeah, if they have 15 10 by 10 bedrooms, and they said, no, we're gonna keep, we actually just use these for storage, we lock them. Nobody can actually rent them, they still need a special permit, so that you guys can make that decision.
Got it.
The way I look at it is, the bigger you get in terms of the capacity, the closer it is to, you know, a hotel or a bed and breakfast that needs that planning board site plan type review of, how many cars are we gonna fit here? How many?
Yeah.
You
how
know,
much noise
you have enough trash receptacles.
thank you.
I guess my thought was, since we're running a short-term rental permit parallel with an SUP, that if, as long as nothing's changed in terms of what's provided under the hearing for the SUP, that would be ongoing. But if there's any complaints, or it's up to the zoning officer to consider that in terms of the renewal of the permit.
I don't disagree with you, Chuck.
And if she feels, or in this case, Kristen feels that it's gotta go back, that they're actually violating their special use permit, then it would come back to us for review, either because of change of conditions or change of
Is your permit in 2 years,
1 year.
annual permits?
annual now.
So then if they were to propose a change, or if we have. any-
Yeah, legally, the planning board can do that, but it's just up to the comfort level of the board members.
I'll go with the board. If the board wants to have at least this one, or any initial new permit, new special use permit, expire after 1 year. For a reconsider, renewal, we can do that. I'll go. Well, I just think it's more work to us.
I mean, since we're, sorry.
Well, I think you brought up a good point, is if they're actually operating under what is typically covered by a special use permit, maybe we don't have to, it doesn't have to come back before us
Unless they change, or unless there's some reason that the zoning officer wants to bring it back to us that we're having problems with this.
Right.
Well,
Sure.
and that's the
You have
piece that
that
I,
authority.
Hmm?
that's the piece that I wanted to make sure of, is if the zoning officer has an issue that we aren't prevented from doing that. So as long as that's in there,
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
being
and
repetitive.
yeah, and my thought too is, we have had many neighbor complaints in certain places, and that's one of the ones that we need to watch. Where this one is simply, nobody has any problem, there's no letters in the file. I don't see a problem with it just being, you know.
Okay, so getting back to the resolution,
Chris, what is the language that gives the code enforcement or the zoning officer permission to pull it back in? 'Cause in other words, I would add it as one of our notes, of making sure.
Yeah.
As one of the conditions.
So I'm gonna go ahead and guess that it's in town code section 220-35.
That's
The zoning officer shall make an on-site visit at least once every 3 years to each lot for which a special use permit has been granted. Or as may be necessary to ensure that the special use permit is being operated in accordance with the conditions specified by the planning board. If the zoning officer determines that a violation of the conditions imposed by the town planning board exists, a letter of violation shall be written to the property owner, giving 30 days to correct the violation. The special use permit shall become null and void at the end of said specified period if the violation has not been corrected. And then shall be required to be reapproved by the planning board.
So in the case of complaints, if I make a complaint or we receive a complaint. And the homeowner with that special use permit says, we took care of it, we're not renting to those people anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Whose interpretation is it? It's zoning officer's interpretation of whether or not the problem is resolved.
Well,
I just want to make sure that they're empowered.
in that case, yes, but that's the general special use permit. Language, I think maybe add a condition to your special use permit that says the zoning officer.
And refer it back to. the
Shall we, you
at
know,
any time.
shall refer back to the planning board upon determination that planning board needs to reconsider.
I'm fine with language like that.
Eric can draft that up too.
And then that can be a standard.
I think
In
that
our,
makes sense. Got that, Eric?
Yeah, there is a whole section on enforcement too, 201-8 zoning inspector. To suspend the short-term rental permit. If lack of compliance with this chapter is repeated or habitual, ongoing, poses a risk to health, et cetera. Zoning inspector is authorized to issue a notice of violation, order to remedy when there's lack of compliance.
But let's put it in as a condition as well, because that's in a, not in the zoning code section. So this will govern, the special use permit can be self-governing. You can add that authority.
okay. So getting back to the resolution then, condition 1 would remain as written, and then this initial condition would be added as a 13th condition.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'd probably number it as the third, just gonna think it follows right after the second. Right, so second one is the zoning officer makes an on-site visit, third one will then be zoning officer may refer the special use permit back to the planning board. And this is just in the event that there may be a violation of the conditions of approval or an amendment to the conditions of approval.
I just noticed one thing in your conditions. And to Mr. Rohr, I think your operating limitation says your quiet hours from 11 to 8. And this condition says 10 to 8.
10 days, just like what we've been putting on.
I know, but I remember I read his and I think it was 11 to 8.
I'm more than happy to.
Thank you.
Why don't we change the condition to 11 to 8?
Well,
So it agrees with the
we've done 10.
thing that's he publishes and gives to you tenants.
This gives them an extra hour of. Okay,
Yeah, we're just trying to get them to agree. It's either he changes his document or we change ours, and I think we can just, I don't have a problem with 11 rather than 10.
It's just that all the other ones are at 10
They are.
that we've ever done.
We have a quiet hour requirement in the,
There's no code.
okay, there's nothing in the code.
No.
Okay. So it's our discretion.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, if our precedent is 10 to 8, then Mr. Rohr would have to comply with that.
He said he would.
Okay, 10 to 8 stays. Let's go. Any other items to be discussed? If not, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion to issue a special use permit to the Roars at 3475 Lakeview Lane under the conditions listed. So this will function as your special use permit, Mr. Rohr. And you also, if you haven't gotten already, need a short-term rental permit, which I think you have. You
Yeah,
have.
the application.
Okay,
We have,
so you're in good shape to go at it. All in favor? Aye. Opposed. Okay. Next one is somewhat similar, but a little bit different.
thank you very much.
Thank you. 4775 Middle Cheshire Road. Christine Brown would like to have a bedroom and a bath rented out, and that would fall, for the lack of another location, under the tourist home operation requirements of the town. And she's seeking a waiver from the minimum 3-bedroom requirement, being that she's only requesting 1 bedroom. So is someone here representing Ms. Brown? Okay. I think the board would probably have some questions of someone representing the applicant. And being that she's not here to answer those questions, I guess we'll have to continue.
I'll make the motion to continue CPN 2585. You want it to next meeting?
Okay, we will continue the hearing to next meeting.
Second.
I'll second. Is that the
That's
28th?
28th.
Yep.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Last public hearing is continued special use permit for a property at 4410 Middle Cheshire Road to allow for the installation of a ground mounted tier 1 24.32 kilowatt AC solar array as an accessory structure in the side yard of a residential parcel in the R2 zoning. I'll open the hearing. Is someone here to represent the applicant?
Oh,
Going once, going twice.
Motion
Okay, I need a resolution to
to continue 2588
wait,
to the 28th.
this is the solar one.
yes.
Yeah.
So, it has come to my attention, based on a diligent, review by Mr. Schneider and discussion with your zoning officer, that this application is going to be, is going to need a referral to the zoning board prior to any decision, of the planning board. they're not eligible for a waiver from the planning board to, the planning board is not authorized to waive requirements of the zoning code except its own procedural rules and special, and elements of a special use permit. So if it says you have to supply the planning board with a, you know, stamped and signed, engineered site plan, the planning board can waive that and say, well, we don't really need that in this particular case, but you can't say you are not, subject to the scenic view shed overlay regulations. So the zoning board can say, we'll give you a variance from the scenic view shed overlay regulation, but the planning board can't. So,
So.
So that's the non-conformity of the scenic view should, because
Ground mounted.
event signs are not permitted. Okay, so it's a use variance?
no, I think it's just an
Area.
area variance.
Okay.
And it looks like they've got reasons, they can just submit a variance request.
Okay, we don't know when it'll be on the ZBA agenda, right?
Since it didn't make this month's PRC meeting, it wouldn't be going until December.
No, they don't need a PRC to go to the zone. That's absurd. Just call them and tell them to submit a variance request.
By Friday. Our referrals happen next week.
Right, if they get it in by Friday.
November,
November.
first meeting in all of December.
The first meeting in December, Mike?
And the 9th of December would be the earliest, I guess.
Yeah, I guess,
Do we do a continuation until we get a determination?
Is it truly with us?
So it'd
You
be,
can, or you can continue until such time as applicant requests to reappear.
copy paste,
So moved.
copy paste.
No, he says so moved
So moved,
with your bow.
my bow. Okay, good.
I'm sorry, what's the motion?
We're continuing it until.
Such time as the applicant
Thank you.
requests reappearance on the planning board's agenda,
Following
pending,
other
uh,
board reviews.
zoning board granted for denial of a variance.
Okay,
Hey, Kristen, there's some big trees back there that's not on this plan.
I think they might be on that neighbor's property. I can take a closer look at it. I didn't.
I went out there.
all right, we got a motion.
Yeah.
We got a motion. Let's move on that before we said. Talking side things.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Okay, over. Go through things quick.
Do something.
No, that was this guy.
All right, we're moving on to.
What is our
We'll let them know that, yeah, we're on. 3501 Middle Cheshire.
Invitation extended.
We have an application continued from the last meeting. For site plan approval for the construction of a single family home. On a vacant parcel in the R130 zoning district. And I think we sent you away with some items to take care of, and I think hopefully you took care of them.
I hope so.
Okay,
So to hopefully solve or lessen the stormwater runoff issue that was brought up, we came up with there's going to be a swale in our front yard. The west side of the house will be a 2-foot flat bottom swale that'll be catching all of the runoff off of the west side of the roof of the house. The flat bottom will help dissipate the water, spread the water, slow the runoff down as it goes to the north side of the property. And then being that we're going to have the partially raised septic behind the house as well, that water should not actually come anywhere near the back side of the property at all. And then for the east side of the house, the back side, we are doing a rooftop disconnect. Or downspout, basically go right to a splash block down to a DEC approved like filtration system to slow down the runoff. That is a 10 by 40 like filtration area right in the backyard there. So we're hoping that is sufficient enough to.
How does that system work? Is it just
So
a bit with?
I tried to,
Such-
I tried to study it.
Maybe bit-
There's a graph that shows it right there, the top 3 pictures there.
Uh-huh.
So basically it comes down to a splash block. There's a pea gravel layer, and then it goes into kind of.
Porous, yeah.
Yep, and then it goes into, from what I understand, it's kind of like a geofabric that kind of slows the runoff down. Helps it kind of percolate into the ground, before just running right through the property. And that'll just be covered with grass as well. So we won't even notice that it's there.
Is there any maintenance you have to do or?
As far as we know, there is no maintenance,
It's a seepage bed.
essentially, yeah. We looked at the idea of doing like dry wells out back. Basically would turn our property into a mosquito farm with just holding water in the back and,
Yeah, it's pretty well concentrated with dry.
Yeah.
This way it seems to be a little more spread out.
yep. The swale in the front, it's gonna be minimum 6 inches deep, depending on what we run into with digging the foundation. Obviously, if we run into water in the house, has to sit up a little bit higher. That swale will end up being a little bit deeper. That's kind of to be determined when excavation starts, but it'll be a minimum 6 inches deep, and then it's a 2 foot wide. Right across the front of the property.
Your driveway gonna be rock.
Driveway's gonna be rock, yep, for a while, because we're not sure what we're gonna be doing with the garage for a while, so we're not gonna,
That'll help.
yeah, we're not gonna spend the money on blacktop and then rip it out again.
Well, that takes care of most of the new impervious. With the house, the driveway and all that. I guess, Mr. Patty, when he was here, last meeting was, I guess, a little concerned also about the runoff coming off the septic system. I guess the only big concern would be when it's being constructed, so you have it exposed.
Right.
And are you showing any silt fence or any type of erosion control?
He has it in the plans, silt fence,
Yeah.
for the entire property.
Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing, the limit of disturbance, I think I brought it up last meeting. It's essentially the whole property.
So I discussed it with him and he was, obviously we're new to building, and the way he explained with the modular, basically they have to do a 40 by 40 crane pad, the house, the septic, now this rooftop disconnect. I said there's not gonna be a whole lot of area, be moving around. There's not really gonna be any work being done outside of what you see, but he didn't seem to feel comfortable kind of making like a little rabbit hole of an area, not being able to go outside of it. Just as we're adding to the excavation now on the south end of the property, with that disconnect as well.
It just seemed that down in that southeast corner, it seems.
So-
Limited disturbance goes all the way to the property line and I don't.
So he did send another one that has it, and I have it on my phone, I can send it, in. It's literally follows the backside of the septic right up to the rooftop disconnect.
There you go, that's what I was thinking. Okay, you didn't submit it though.
So we submitted that one because that's what he said to submit first. If
Right.
you needed the other one to show the higher amount or number, I don't know how to word it, then he sent another one afterwards. But like he said, he wasn't comfortable with, I guess, saying that he was gonna disturb more than what he had, or less, sorry. I don't know the verbiage.
Okay, because the other thing that was a critical part of the ECB's review, and I think the counties. Or I know we brought up last time, was the hedgerow on the north side. Trying to keep as much of that as possible, and I don't see any reason why you have to be too far into it at all. with your septic system or your home construction?
No, the only thing, so right out front right now, we actually learned from the neighbor to the south, apparently someone tried to dig something there prior, many years ago, so out of the road, there's like a hole in the ground, basically, and it just kind of holds water there. And it's basically right where our proposed, utilities are gonna be crossing. So a lot of that stuff's, obviously, we gotta do some clearing there for where the house will be going into it. And then we have to run our gas line and our electric right through there as well. As far as the backyard goes, we're gonna leave as definitely as much as possible there.
Yeah, we're only clearing out what's necessary for the lines to go in.
Okay. Again, maybe this revised plan that's out there shows, no disturbance of the hedge
No,
line.
It's the same thing. I
No,
think
it's, I mean, the hedgerow right now, if you go out there, it's, I mean, you can see where it's pretty accurate. It's where it goes halfway to the house right now. There has to be clearing. There's no way around that. There's not enough room to put a house in there without taking.
Yeah, I can see in the area of the house. I think the area of concern was to the north of where the septic field is, and that going back to the far corner. I think that's where we're trying to keep that hedgerow. And I don't see any reason why you can't. So I think as long as we are assured of that in our approval, for review, then I think that's the take care of that. And I'm sorry, board,
No, that's
I'm
what
not
he,
wise.
I believe that's what he said. He's keeping everything behind the
Yeah.
house. on the
Yeah,
hedgerow.
we want to keep it obviously as much as
Right.
possible. We don't want an open field.
Yeah, we don't want to open it all up.
Okay, so there's another plan.
Same plan, but just different number.
Less disturbance, is that what?
It's a lot, yeah, he moved the limit of disturbance and it's.
Back into the property. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else, board?
No, but I understand what he's saying, because they're putting in a module right next to Foster up on Middle Cheshire right now. They have a big disturbance. Get the crane in there and see what he's talking about.
Yeah, they,
In the front, yeah, I can see the
Yeah,
front.
that's just a lot.
The front's gonna be all torn up.
And they tried it yesterday in mud.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We got mud?
By the way they explained it, even with, depending on the properties, they might even put the crane out behind the house, or off to the side, so.
Okay, anything else, board, that we were concerned about? Does anyone in the audience, want to address the board regarding this application? Okay. Again, Fletcher had no comments. We talked about the easement. And along the frontage, and I think last meeting you said you'd be willing to.
The sidewalk,
The sidewalk, grant that.
is there any time frame on that? Just curious.
As far as the construction of it,
Yeah, it's just curious. I obviously probably want it done soon, but planning's difficult.
I'm sorry, when the sidewalk goes in?
Yeah.
Yeah, just if there was an estimate. No, okay.
Not
Right
for a
now,
while.
there's,
Yeah, it's just an easement.
I think the intent is to try to continue what's the blacktop. It's back further back to the south.
Okay.
And somehow get all the way up to 5 and 20.
Okay.
That's in the sidewalk master plan, and that's the concept. All comes down to where's the money. They gotta get the money. Alrighty, so I think we covered everything on the service. Ag did not have a meeting. ECB, we talked about the hedgerow and the stormwater controls. We've taken care of that to our satisfaction. Anything else? If not, somebody, let's see, we're looking at a seeker. Type 2,
Unlisted.
and since it's a type 2, it's down to the right resolution, missed it. We'll see. So I need, someone want to give me the seeker and the site plan.
Yeah, I'll bundle up approval on a type 2 action seeker at 3501. Middle Cheshire Road, CPN 25-095 for that approval and the site plan, single stage site plan resolution with the current 10 conditions. I didn't hear anything. Engagements there. Yeah, for approval.
I'll second it.
Okay, you see anything, again, this site plan that never got submitted. If that takes care of some of the issues we talked about tonight in terms of reducing the amount of disturbance. I guess it should be based on that site plan. So what it can be is submit that site plan for signatures. Okay, all right. So that way,
Number 9, you have number 9 listed, some of the things that we talked about with the 15 sidewalk easement and the.
Yeah, that's number 9.
okay, so we got a motion and a second for seeker type 2 and a site plan approval. No further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, thanks for working on this, sorry.
No, thank you. Just waving back there.
Bye-bye.
Oh, wow.
All right. Next one is 25067. This was subdivision application that was predicated on a ZBA approval for the shape of the lots. And it did not get finalized. They wanted to look at some options. I think they wanted to look at some options, how they could reconfigure the lots so they wouldn't have to go through a variance. If you recall, there were like two flag lots, one lot across the front. They were trying to work a way that they could avoid or reduce the effect of the flag lots. So ZBA is working with the applicant on that. That'll be back on the ZBA agenda this month. So that means we don't get to see it for subdivision until the 12th. So I need a continuation to continue the subdivision.
So moved.
Review. Second. Okay, for discussion, if not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that takes care of that.
Wednesday.
I won.
Who gave me the motion on that?
I did.
All righty, now we're ready to move on to 2025-081. Parkside Drive. For the Ontario Next Step property. And Jake, how are you this evening?
Not too bad, how are you?
Good?
So I am joined with Chris and Nicole online for DePaul. Gabby, you moved on me. Gabby and Dan with SWBR, and as well as Matt Tomlinson with Marathon. Everyone was here for our last kind of big intro of the project, so I'm just going to run through a couple of the smaller updates that we've completed. Landscaping plans have been updated with bioretention plantings instead of just kind of the gravel, so they're going to have a good look to them, kind of complement that hardscape area. We've included water main profiles and sewer profiles for MRB to review. We're going to have to submit a waiver for the depth of the ADA parking. We're per code, we're fine with the width. The depth is 20 per code, so we're just gonna we're gonna go to the standard 18, which is see in any parking lot. So I'll submit that via cloud permit, get that through.
You're looking for relief from who?
Per the code, the Canandaigua code, it's a
Yeah.
20-foot depth
10 by-
for ADA parking, which mean, it's normal, any standard parking lot usually has an 18-foot depth, so we're keeping everything standard to where you would see anywhere.
So again, who are you seeking that relief from?
I believe it's to the planning board.
Oh,
So this is the present, so it's all basic, but it's, but you want to waive some of those.
Yeah, it's,
okay.
yep, yeah, that's. Yeah, we did a
This is
few on,
form-based.
yes, yeah, so we have a,
Yeah, I believe that's a planning board function. Everything I said about you not being able to waive substantive stuff, unless it's in the form-based code part.
Disregard.
for now. And then,
I'm sorry, Jake. go
no,
ahead.
you're totally fine. And then the last thing I'll mention is that we are working with the town of Farmington Water and Sewer to kind of finalize that connection. We're still coming from County Route 28. We're talking with Aaron Bissell about possibly connecting to the existing main along Parkside Drive to the west of our property. But we're just starting those conversations here now. But other than that, I don't think there's been any major plan updates that you would see on the plans as well as architecturally. I think we're pretty much the same set of plans that we got to look at a month ago.
Okay, so you got your 3 variances from the ZBA.
Yep.
And that should be duly noted on the plans.
Yep, they've been added. Yep.
Okay. The town board, did they discuss it at all or didn't really, I was reading the minutes, it really,
I don't.
You said it was
recall there
submitted.
Discussion.
okay. So it's clear the town board came back to us. MRB did a review and you responded to their comments. Are you guys okay with the responses?
Yeah, we haven't formally responded yet, but a brief review was something.
Okay.
And then we still owe them updated SWIP and engineering report.
The ECB in their review, liked the plan. The only suggestion was to change out the boxwoods.
Yep. And that's been
Been done or?
Yep.
Be in the.
That was that part of the large, I shouldn't say large, but the updated landscape.
Okay. The county planning board was okay with the application. They just said try to minimize the variances, but with the form base, it is what it is. So
Yeah.
there's variances. Just looking at going through my notes. Landscaping around the trash bins and the generator, I think. I just wrote it here to check it. I think you had something there.
Yeah.
Some shrubs are.
Yeah, some larger trees. Trees and shrubs.
To screen those, stormwater, facilities, maintenance schedule and a maintenance agreement, is that,
Yeah, that was a comment and we're gonna file that. Yep.
okay, and how about that cross easement we talked about? Went across the trolley,
Yeah, we're working on getting the verbiage for that.
okay. Is that a condition or do you think we? So we don't lose
I
track of
think
it?
that it is.
Is it? Okay, if it is. You have some street trees out front, which is red maples, I guess Jim Fletcher said, make sure you put in trees that grow up, not out. Okay, so don't want to hit with the plow. Lighting we talked about. I'm good, how about the rest of the board?
2 questions. Yeah. Cause it's in this area, I gotta ask, power requirements good? You have the power?
We are in, we've submitted, we'll say it that way. I think Matt had mentioned this at the last one is that we're submitted and because of how much smaller this project is, the hopes is that there shouldn't be an issue, but again, people are gonna get response.
Do you have monument signing or any kind of signage on the building? I didn't see it.
Chris, that's a good question for you. I don't
No, there's no desire for identifying signage. We'll have the fire department required address numbers, but.
Yeah.
That's accurate.
Anybody else on the board? Okay, so let's move on. We, in this case, we have a unlisted action regarding the seeker. The applicant submitted a part one. MRB on our behalf did part 2 and 3. Any issues with that as far as the responses? Okay, not. Then let's take the seeker unlisted action. Somebody give me a motion.
I'll make that motion to approve the seeker unlisted action for 25081 at Parkside Drive.
Okay, got a motion, second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, I didn't go out to the audience before we started taking motions here, but does anybody in the audience have any comments for the board on this application? I didn't think so, so that's fine. Let's go to site
For the
plan.
record, there were a bunch of shaking heads.
If you do, it's too late. Let's do the site plan resolution. What are we up to? 16 conditions?
And one that just said, no signage is proposed as part of this application. If signage is proposed at a later time, shall be subject to a separate approval from the planning board. So standard condition of use of fence for signage.
17 or
That would be 17.
And 13 is the cross easement.
Yep.
Agreement, okay. And the landscape plan, replace the boxwoods. Very good. You got them all. Very good. Okay, I need a motion.
Was that a motion from you?
It can be.
Motion?
I will make a motion
Okay.
based on the conditions listed to approve a site plan for a yet to be.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Okay, good. Thanks, folks.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's move on to Mr. Rockcastle representing a property at 3904 County Route 16. It's a site plan application to tear down, it's already been torn down,
Correct.
and rebuild a single family home in the RLD district. There were some variances requested, and I think there were 3, and you got 2 of the 3, right?
Yeah,
All right, tell us about it.
so like you said, tear down, rebuild. And what we're proposing is a 3,500 square foot single family residence with an attached garage. It is in the steep slopes. In order to place a house with the slopes, we have to propose some retaining walls. One of the variances that was granted was for lot coverage because it is a fairly small lot. And we, based on the driveway and the length of it, it added to the square footage. Other variance was front setback. That setback is the same as the existing house that was there previously. So we're trying to meet that same standard that was there before. Both of those were granted by the ZBA. The one that was not granted was a 5-foot setback for the retaining wall, but that we changed that to meet the standard of the setback. So it's now 8 feet off the property line, which is allowed by code. One of the things that we did add after the ZBA was having permeable pavers in the upper driveway area to increase infiltration in that area. It's not required because per se, we did put an infiltration trench in the front that meets all the standards for impervious surfaces that we're proposing. But at the same time, we have a nice flat area and it increases infiltration in that area, so it's not a bad design addition. We are hooking up the sanitary sewer in front. We have designed that. I guess I'll open it up to you guys if you have any questions based on our design.
Okay. Board?
I have a few permanent pavers.
Mhm.
What kind? Is it asphalt or is it water?
It's a. Well, they put a detail on there, but
Yeah, I just had to ask.
it's a Teco block permeable paver, so it's concrete.
And that deals with a lot of, under prep, right?
Correct.
Gravel and all that.
Right, yeah. So-
Pavement.
Yeah, exactly. So all the main drainage catches the drainage, infiltrates kind of to a man-made chamber with gravel that holds it and it allows for infiltration at a slower rate instead of sheet flowing off to a point source and then redirecting it.
So then, what's the rest of it? Asphalt?
Yes. But just because it's so steep, putting pavers on that slope, it just wouldn't do it justice.
In a standard asphalt?
Yeah.
Did you have, I didn't see it, any kind of catchment at the end of the driveway?
We don't have one proposed at the moment, but that's not out of the question.
That would be, I was looking at that, cause like
We
you
could
said, it's
do a-
deep right there and then,
Yeah, we could do a grate at the,
yeah.
kind of right at the property line to catch anything coming off the driveway and diverting it into the ditch before it runs into the road. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I asked you about the pavers, cause we approved one house that had asphalt permeable and then it got sealed. So,
Right.
I'm very, very cautious about
Yeah,
these.
that doesn't work.
No. Yeah, that was my comments there mainly.
Maybe on the permeable papers, and I think I've said this before, add, conditions says a note will be added, that pavers will be maintained according to manufacturer's specifications, and a note will be added to the plan prior to signature, that way, they can be in violation of town code.
Yeah, that always looks good on paper until,
Yeah, well, I mean, we have to put a note for the infiltration chamber, so I can kind of bundle it to make sure that the maintenance standard is met per town code.
Has he been asking for a stormwater maintenance agreement for these practices?
Well, and for a
I-
maintenance agreement for the.
I thought that was for if there was over 20,000 or over an acre of disturbance, that's stormwater practices need to be put in place.
That's, like some.
But also for,
over.
the planning board has now, the option of saying, they'd like a stormwater maintenance agreement.
In my opinion, I think that's a bit overkill.
well, I wouldn't say so because we've seen the seal
Well,
and all that stuff.
but we
nobody's
put in,
maintained it.
we put a note in saying it will meet the standard of the manufacturer, which would also be in line with not sealing permeable pavers.
So the code enforcement officer can violate and bring them to court and, issue notice of violation in order to remedy, do whatever. I think unless Murphy specific, unless we're all clear on what he wants.
It's in his comments on. the
I did see that.
It says the stormwater management agreement will also need provided to town of Canada. I got an arrow pointing right to the permeable paver walk.
Okay, so your code enforcement officer is recommending
I mean, if that's what needs to happen, I'm fine to put that in place. That's not that big of a deal.
You have it somewhat covered at number 8.
Yeah, I was just gonna modify that one to add and permeable pavers at the fence and jumps.
Okay, is this property visible from the lake?
It is. I do have, with the shoreline guidelines. I believe I uploaded that.
Did, I don't
So-
remember seeing.
You had in your.
I'm pretty sure that it was there. It might be, with the zoning applications oftentimes some are not there and
I think that.
I know you're putting the trees.
I have a landscaping plan, that coincides with the shoreline guidelines.
There's one in the zoning
The
application.
variance application.
Okay, yeah. Chairman, it mentioned the tree, you put the maple in the corner there on the.
Right,
If I
there's
remember.
putting a maple on the corner, and then having a couple beds in front. And then, with the new driveway alignment, we're gonna have to take down that hedgerow, so I'm proposing a new hedgerow to replace the ones that we're taking out.
Oh, next to German road.
Yes,
I just added the shoreline guidelines statement into the sub-plan.
thank you.
Okay, because I'm reading the ECB's comments and there are a lot of trees coming out. I guess to get the house and the patio. And I think. In return,
You said the patio?
well, in the back where the.
The driveway?
Oh, the driveway, okay, I'm sorry, yeah. Keep thinking that as a patio in the back, but it's part of the parking area to pull in the garage. Yeah, to get that built, as well as the
Yeah. I did-
extension of the
I
home.
did stop there today to look at some of those trees. I mean. There's one big cottonwood that's kind of at its prime and in my opinion, it should be taken out just based on its age.
Mhm.
There is one, I believe it's either, I think it's a sugar maple that's there or red maple in the back that is quite large. I don't have that identified on the plans, but that's the only one, that's the only significant tree I could see that would. I could see the board wanting to be preserved. But at the same point, single family residents and driveways are allowed to disturb a lot.
Yeah, but we're taking into consideration it is in a scenic view shed as well as. The shoreline guideline in the RLD.
Right,
So I mean,
yeah,
that's, it is a
Well,
little
I mean-
weight to what we're looking at.
we're trying our best to preserve as much as possible, but given the slopes and. Having access to the house,
Chuck, wouldn't we normally ask for an NRA inventory in case like this?
It's for an NRI.
And if, yeah, an inventory to show the inventory on the site. Pre-existing conditions. Not to.
I think we kind of show this, we show the steep slopes, the only thing that's missing would be the trees. And we can add that to our existing conditions plans to show how we're disturbing the trees over 6 inches.
Yeah, trees being removed, trees, trees
We're happy
being
to do
put
that.
back in.
Yep.
It's not, we're looking for a 1-for-1, but I mean,
Absolutely.
I think all the more reason, especially since it is viewable from the lake,
Mhm.
we go through a lot of effort in terms of homes on the lakeside. In this case, it's not lakeside, but it's certainly lake visible.
You can definitely see it. I agree with
And
that.
the other thing I was looking for, elevations of the home, has the home been designed?
It's half and half. We have the footprint. We're just trying to. With the average grade, make sure that we're in compliance with the height criteria. Because it's a walkout basement and then they're adjusting the first floor with the roof line right now. So I don't have final elevations.
Are they close to being done?
I can upload what we have. but just with that caveat that the roof line is not final.
So then your average would be under
The
the height
average grade.
requirement? The average grade.
Well, the
when you go
average
to
grade
your point.
allows us to have more
that
height to the
Yeah.
roof line and
So I think what he's looking for is those, that point,
yes,
and then
yeah,
explain that.
I was just working on the spreadsheet of the average grade this week, and working with my client to get that finalized. But the footprint is not changing. The roof line will be. It's whether or not he's can have a loft or not above the first floor. But I can upload that for your review.
And it has to be, so we know the height of the house.
Yep.
Right.
Well, and the aesthetics, again, because it's so visible. Did you see MRB's review?
I just noticed that was in the
Okay, it was-
document. Sometimes it gets passed by, I don't get an alert of
Okay,
when
it's
things are uploaded, so I just
Very
noticed.
pertinent. I think there's some items in there you have to
Yep,
address. Program.
I think the main ones are dealing with the steep slope criteria, that I'm happy to address.
You saw that note, someone had a note about the difference in lot coverage percentage.
The
One had 29%, the other had
table,
39%.
so, yeah, the table was wrong, the 29.7 is incorrect in the
39.
variance required number 2,
Mhm.
39.1. And a 9.1 variance.
Okay, so that should be,
30, yeah,
that should be correct.
so the table should read 39.1.
Well, I mean, all this being said, I think there's some work that needs to be done on your part. So I would see us continuing probably this discussion if it's favor of the board. So you got the MRB letter, the NRI features, the landscaping and the tree
Driveway.
identification, reconsider the,
I have landscaping.
okay. I'm just saying with taking out the trees, maybe something more has to be added. You'll have to look at that and the elevations of the home. Okay?
Yep.
All right, so we can, I think you have all this done. And by Friday, it would have to be by Friday? Or the meeting, next meeting?
It's a week before the meeting.
Oh, okay. So that'd be the 28th, 21st, that'd be next Tuesday.
That's fine.
Okay.
What's the date of the next meeting that?
28th.
Yeah.
28th of October. Okay,
I can have everything in by next week. I'll try for this Friday, but next week.
okay, so board, you want to give me a motion to continue discussion to the 28th?
Second.
Okay. Anything else you're looking for from Logan regarding this application? If not, we'll leave it at the 28th. We'll see you then,
Great.
not sooner.
Yeah, thank
All
you.
right, all in favor? Aye.
Have a nice night.
All righty. Thank you for waiting, sir. The next application is one of those comment and reviews to the ZBA that we have because of a non-conforming a non-conforming property regarding a shed that is already non-conforming. And is it Mr. Motawala?
Yes.
Okay. Would like to place a larger shed on the property, which would increase the non-conformity. So I guess we have to supply a comments to the ZBA. I think we've done it enough times. We know that drill now. So, sir, would you mind describing what you want to do out there in terms of
Okay,
Sandy
thank you.
Beach?
Appreciate your time. So I reviewed the ECB report and very comprehensive. All the comments and recommendation, you understand. So when we bought the property 2 years ago, this shed has been there, we don't know how many years. So it came with it. And we did all the remodeling inside the house first, and then we started looking at the shed. And what you don't have perhaps, you can see that, if I may, just pass these two pictures to you, and maybe you can add this. Sure. If you can just look at that shed. So it's roughly 5 by 6 right now, and you can see how short it is. I'm 5'5" on a good day. Okay, and I can hardly get in there, okay, and you can see the height. So that is a big one problem, you can't really store anything. So it's 5 by 6, you thought you put 6 by 10. It's another 30 square foot to 60 square foot. And to us, it was not a big deal, because it's already there. That's what we thought. So anyway, long story short, we see all the concerns you have, the board has. So I wrote down just a few questions for our purposes. It says it's the 30% of the large coverage variance. I don't understand these 30%. Overall lot, I mean, what we are doing from 30 square feet to roughly 60 square feet. And then we're just adding 1 feet to the width, which is to the north side, and a 4 feet to the east side. So I don't know, maybe there is a method to how you folks do these things.
Well, again, I guess currently you have a shed that is non-conforming
Yes.
in terms of its setback from the lake, or what is the non-conformity we're dealing with? What makes it non-conforming currently?
Because it's so close to the lake
Lake,
there.
okay,
And also there was some concern about our neighbor, and we have talked to our neighbors, they have no issues, we can get you the letters with that. Okay, but it was already there, that's the thing.
okay,
I wouldn't be installing a new shed.
but you're putting
For
in
sure.
a new shed, bigger shed
Oh.
in essentially the same location.
Yeah.
That still is not in conformance with the setback from the lake
Yes.
and not in conformance with the setback from the property line.
Yes.
So it's essentially the same non-conformity with the bigger shed.
Okay.
And I guess, is that his only variance?
Looks like lot
Well,
coverage.
Was the lot coverage?
Setback
We got into 30%, I guess.
and rear setback.
And expansion of a non-conformity,
What was this, the last one?
expanding a non-conformity. So
How's the board feel?
I'm wondering, why do you want it in the front? Why not in the back of your house?
It is in the back. It's-
Well, I mean, okay, in the front near the road.
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up. So I have one comment I wrote down. That was, excuse me, I got a little bit of a cold, okay? There was a mention of, that there's a large parking area or something. Okay? And I don't know, large is a relative, but it's a large is over there, okay? And there's a little bit of grass, which you folks like to have some green space and all of that. If board wants to, you would love to move it in the front and eliminate this whole, you know, from zero, from the lake, and we can build the size you want us to build it. And we can do that. There is already a shed, my neighbor shed on the front, on the roadside. So we can do that if board would like that. We want some storage space, so,
Oh, yeah, no,
gentlemen, okay, that's all we want.
we all accumulate stuff.
Yeah, well, these are a lot of toys, you know what I mean,
Well, by putting it in the front,
yes.
I don't think it's as big a concern to the board, because it's off the lake,
Yes,
can't see it from the lake. Your neighbors can see it, but
I can get the letters from my neighbors, they're great neighbors.
well, I think what we're saying is
Yeah.
probably your better option is to consider putting it in the front,
Okay.
okay?
And then
Because otherwise, I think this board, you read the ECB's
Yes, I
review.
quite thorough.
I talked to our code officer, enforcement officer today. He said he would not approve it anyway in the
I
lakeside.
understand, sir. Yeah.
So I think,
To be honest with you, we wouldn't mind moving it from there. Because where it is and it's getting old and all that, it's been there for God knows 15, 20 years for all I know.
well, wait,
Okay.
It'll save you another night out. If he puts it in the front,
You need a variance.
it still needs a variance.
Yes.
All coverage, building coverage.
Building coverage would still be an issue, and then having an accessory building in front in the RL.
Okay,
Well, what be Kristen, the other concern, ma'am?
well,
If it were in the front, that would require a variance.
Yeah, I understand you can at least apply for it, but
Okay.
at least we get away from the lake part, which is a big concern. Okay,
I think what this board's gonna recommend to the ZBA is that the applicant is willing to move it to the front,
yes,
and that would be the better option.
Yeah.
And whatever additional variances are needed, that
yeah,
they should be considered. The building coverage is always an issue. Or not building coverage, lot coverage, I guess it is.
Yeah, narrow.
well, we are not building a house, you know, so.
Just to be clear, Chuck, we're talking about not increasing the lot coverage. We do that, so that anything that we do goes on the driveway, not additional grass space.
Well, okay, if he puts the new shed on the driveway, where would you put it, Mr.?
Well, there's a walkway right here.
Yeah,
And this is the big parking area, somebody's talking about the big parking area, this is there's the deck here. And the shed is right now is the shed.
yep, right, that's where it is.
So we will build it here or here, my neighbor shed is right here. This is my neighbor, right, is that right? Yeah. So the shed is right there, so I can build it anywhere town wants.
Looks like his shed's,
Is that grass right there? The
That's
parking
all.
area?
Part of the grass, the rest of it's parking, so. All the way up to here.
Oh,
That's That's actually the only earth on the property. Is that little bit of what looks like it's green.
Well, it looks like there's on the other side of the walkway too.
yeah,
But
but
you've got, I mean, very minimal grass there. That's why I'm suggesting that if we're gonna entertain the concept that it goes on the driveway portion, not on what little grass is there,
it would not increase the, you're right.
don't increase that.
In fact, it actually reduce it because you take the old shed away.
Oh, that's paved underneath.
No, I bet that's on the.
Yeah, that's on.
Is your current shed on stone or?
It's on some kind of, you can see the picture. I just sent it to you, sitting on some kind of platform.
It's
It looks
like
like
it's a pretty
Bunch
big.
of
Okay.
pavers.
You know, you can tell by looking at it.
Okay,
And then we'll build a new plan, formally approved with whatever, however you want the base. I have, Mr. Wheeler, we have lived in the lake before, on the west side of Hillcrest side for 12 years.
okay,
We had a lakefront, we had a shed there. I'm very cognizant of the concerns you folks have. We love Canandaigua Lake, we love the quality of the water, we don't wanna do anything to harm it.
okay, and neither do we, and that's
So,
what we're here
so
for.
we are not, this is not a new road, this is second rodeo for us, okay?
Okay, well,
But
then I
the
think,
advice- Just to restate, the advice of the board would be not to cite any shed on any area that's on grass.
Yes.
So if it's on.
In the concrete one, yes. We are very cognizant of that concern as well, how much green space we need. We had that discussion with Mr. Murphy when we moved in 2 years ago about that grass, because we wanted to pave the whole thing to make it, no, you can't do that. So we left it the way it is. As a matter of fact, a lot of my neighbors park on their grass because they're not allowed to pave.
so Kristen, if he puts it on the parking area,
Here?
yeah, there. That would take care of the lot coverage issue.
Well, I'm questioning, is that a patio, like a concrete patio by the lake?
Which one?
Yeah.
So right,
Here?
yeah, is that
Yeah,
concrete?
it's a pavers.
So
yes.
keeping it there would not increase lot coverage.
It is already here,
Mhm.
and you want us to move it here?
No, you
Yeah.
can keep it there. I'm just saying that even if you increase the size of.
Nobody's gonna agree to a bit, anything bigger on the lakeside.
Yeah,
Right.
you're right.
Just like that.
You still got the lakeside issue and.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
That's.
Let's- Let's,
just trying to say it doesn't matter for the lot.
Right, it doesn't increase the lot.
Or.
But it is-
It's already, there's already a
Yeah,
structure.
it's one of his variants.
Puts it right
Yeah.
here, it won't increase lot coverage.
Right.
Also, it
Correct.
won't be an expansion of a non-conformity, it won't come to this board.
Or the ZBA possibly,
I think
unless you
still-
put it too close to the property.
Unless you put it-
You said
Accessory.
Unless it's
accessory
gonna put
building.
it right here, that can't be the size of it.
Okay.
Well, maybe.
Also, it's a
He
accessory
probably
structure
asked,
now.
because of the accessory building, he's gotta go.
She's going to the ZBA.
He's going to ZBA,
But
but
it won't come back here, is my guess. Right?
well, based on our recommendation, if he goes out front.
Place.
Okay, yeah, he still has to go ZBA, but I think it's something that more, I can't speak for the ZBA, but it's something you better have a better chance of getting, and I think it relieves the ECB's concerns.
So we can go.
I assume it relieves Mr. Murphy's concerns. I'm not sure exactly what, all of where I knew he had a problem with the lakeside, but. Okay, so that'll be our recommendation. We will send that to the ZBA. I don't know if. The applicant still is going to the ZBA
Maybe call
Tuesday.
Kristen, maybe call Kristen tomorrow or the next day to just work out
Okay.
for the schedule,
Okay, thank you.
right?
And if town tells us what size maximum we can go, we'll accommodate with that. And definitely we need the height.
Right, yeah.
Sorry.
I understand.
Okay, all right, thanks for waiting us out.
So I'll just wait for the ZBA meeting, is that right, Chris?
We'll touch base tomorrow.
With that base?
Yes.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
no problem.
You all have a good evening.
Kristen, unrelated, but down the street from that, there's been a whole boat with paving,
Oh, really?
New?
brand new, oh boy.
Do you know the address?
There's like 5 of them.
Okay. Okay.
Only 5?
See, I can tell you where it starts, is it?
And paved quite a ways, yeah.
Well, we
can check it out. If there's 5, I think we'll be able to find it.
Kristen told me where to go.
Kristen and Kim, I think when planning board members bring this, if you guys tomorrow put it into the online system as a complaint,
Complaints.
you do that,
So-
that we can.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it needs.
Okay, that takes care of the agenda. Let's
Oh, that's.
look back at the
So start.
minutes of
If you started
September,
3468,
the meeting weren't here.
and go all the way down about to 3476, I think it is.
Wait, let's see.
Can I have a approval of the minutes from the last meeting?
So moved.
No, I have no additions or corrections, so all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Fareed, for preparing those. No surety releases. We've nothing to, no money to give out. Okay, no extensions to consider. Okay, training, there's a stormwater seminar at the Hotel Canandaigua, November 5th. Everybody see that? It's got a fee involved. If you want to go, tell Kristen. She'll write you a check.
Yeah.
So if you want to go, let her know.
It's a swamp.
Tim, did you get straightened away with your training? Adding the Saratoga Springs? Okay,
Sorry.
you're still jet lag.
Still jet.
That's no excuse.
He's got Canadian, he's got Rockies.
No.
leg. As of now, I will not be here at the next meeting.
Ooh. I will not be
As
here
of
this
now,
night.
it might change, but right now, we plan to travel.
So Amanda won't be here.
I won't be here.
28.
Yeah,
So that's,
does that make it tricky?
Members know.
That's.
as long as we don't have any super majorities, we. Right.
Can I be virtual?
Oh, we're fading quick.
Trick or treat.
I can be virtual.
I cannot be. I don't.
We're getting thin here.
It's just-
And Dan's Dan's not back yet. What's that? Three, are we allowed? I don't think you're allowed two and one virtual.
Oh,
I don't
I
think
think so.
Mr. Nadler, what's the paint look like on that wall over there?
Like that, you're not allowed, but I don't think
I think there's something
it
about
needs to be, but not anymore.
to make a majority. I mean, if you were the fourth. it's one
What's
thing.
what's on the
If you were the
docket?
fourth, you pretty much be not.
Yeah.
It's being.
You still gotta, yeah, you gotta court.
Be advised or not.
Was
See.
five that was already.
Yeah, that's a.
So wait, this is for which meeting?
Next meeting,
28th of
28th.
October.
Oh.
2 weeks.
I mean, does that change anywhere else during the 28th of that week? Can people be here or is it everyone's out of town?
27, 28, 29, and part of, I can probably be back.
Could you push it to the first week of November when you,
Mhm.
there's no meetings? No.
The count. I'm just sitting there thinking, I
Do we?
could postpone my leaving.
Who is here on who's available for the 29th? Raise your hand.
So I can be virtual.
Monday, I'm out that whole week.
Okay,
Okay.
so that week is out.
That week is no.
We can't go early.
But we can't do later that week because this room is locked. For the voting machines.
Do it now.
Oh, and then Tuesday on the fourth. is for-
Fourth's the election day.
You could do earlier, but
It's
you got the
next
zoning
week.
board next week, right? Well, you could do earlier, but that's next week.
I'm okay with it.
But we just,
Oh, you got the agenda set. It's not like anything.
well, we just told these people,
Yeah, a week prior.
to have a week
Yeah,
prior,
we
which
just
would be
need to
next
do
week.
Well, could you reconsider those?
I just sent
Tonight,
notices
and then-
today for the 28th.
I knew that would happen.
So
Never had.
should we look at the week of November 3rd?
Well, Tuesday's
So we have
election.
to
day.
do it.
Tuesday is a not. The 3rd, do they
Like the
have to
4th.
set up?
So the
Here.
room is locked through the fifth,
We need this room.
and then we have court
Court.
here on the sixth.
Now, theoretically, the clerk, the planning board used to only be in
We've done it.
the room in the corner,
In a
down the
couple
corner,
of
or
years.
you can meet some
For the clerk's room?
clerk's office right now. It used to be like set up like a meeting like this,
Wednesday morning.
or we can find, I mean, this board is met in the highway garage.
Yeah.
There was the, I give
Yeah, the
access to the
conference room
highway.
there is nice. It's decent size.
What day are you looking at?
Let's not worry about rooms, let's find a day.
Third, I'm good.
Third, I can do.
Third.
Monday the 3rd,
Monday the 3rd.
Monday, third.
okay, let's do that.
Next week.
I'm not available that week.
Well, you're not
I'm
available?
not available the first week in November.
But all four of you are.
4 of us.
I would recommend that one of you make a motion by saying so moved at the end of my sentence, motion to reschedule the Tuesday, October 28th regularly scheduled planning board meeting until Monday, December 3rd and November 3rd, and to direct town staff to find a suitable meeting place there for. So moved.
Second.
All fair.
Aye.
I was allowing, we're training him really well.
It's true.
So, the applicants would
Oh.
Oh, that's one of those? Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, because they were going.
Too late.
It was.
Yeah.
they were
Sorry,
gonna
Ken.
send it.
I was gonna look at tomorrow, but
So the applicants have to be notified. I don't know if you have any advertising has to be done.
Eric
There's
just brought up
no
the.
new public hearings.
On the
There's
28th?
Just.
Oh, that's-
Hold on, Eric. Eric just brought up the shot clock on the cell tower.
I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's,
We'll send those notices.
We're back to non-woods.
It wasn't a huge.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
Site plan.
Then I'll call everybody.
Eleven three.
No.
You have the letter from, you have the letter from Verizon offering the shot clock extension, so. All we'd be doing is acknowledging.
You're doing it on a different date, right? Like, so they said they would acknowledge the shotgun extension of the. On the 8th or whatever it would have been.
It's just sending them an email saying, hey.
But doesn't affect him at all, because he's not coming the 28th, and he's not coming. the
Yeah,
3rd.
they were gonna send another letter that just confirmed.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that was the most discussion we had
That's the solar in Michigan.
all night.
So-
I was really looking forward.
The zoning, there's.
I'll let you share it.
Zoning board.
I'll sit around.
Actually, maybe I'll.
But no Tim that day, right? No Tim on
Tim on
the
the
3rd.
The zoning board denied their use variance application at its last meeting. At which point it's not really eligible for a site plan or special use permit.
So it's gonna be there, so.
It's over and done. That being said, discussions with the convention's attorney, they're going to sue. The zoning board's gonna adopt findings of fact at its next meeting, at which point their 120-day Article 78 deadline starts to run, and they're gonna sue within the next 4 months. Which is, was anticipated, and we're comfortable with that.
Do I need to revise the resolutions from the way?
Anything else for the good of the group?
November 3rd.
Okay, so we'll,
Can I
Sure.
ask, that motion that was so moved, upon consensus, have a sentence added, and that all continuations to the 28th be revised to reflect in the 3rd.
That's what I meant. to
Corinne,
say.
does that make sense?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here.
Nobody's gonna be here. I thought that's what you meant to say.
Exactly.
He's just such a good mind reader.
Okay, what time is it, Amanda?
Motion to adjourn at 7:32 PM.
Okay, very good. Thanks, folks.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.